Where dreamers dream, where dreams come true. There's no limit to what we can do. Turning no's to yes, leaving doubt behind, releasing the stress. We were born to shine.
You're now tuned in to the Sade Champagne Show. With the cast, Christina Renee, Rick and Melissa Wood, Lisa Lewalt, Veronica Escobar winners, Ariana Carde, and Ayakule Falama. Celebrity guest interviews, segments on health, wellness, creativity, entrepreneurship, spirituality, hot topics, and more. You're now tuned in to the Sade Champagne Show.
Good evening, everyone. That was Joel Piper with Room for You. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 30 of the Sade Champagne Show on Grind Hard Radio. Including tonight, we only have 6 more weeks until our Season 2 finale. I can't believe it. We are already on 30 episodes. And I remember when this was just a dream in my heart 5 years ago. And here we are today, and it's just continuing to grow and blossom more and more. Every episode is available on iTunes. Search The Sade Champagne Show, and you can download them for free. Also, my Sade Champagne YouTube channel is another place where you can listen to the show afterwards. Thanks to everyone for tuning in all around the globe. All the episodes of my show are available at blogtalkradio.com/grindhard_radio. I've also posted the direct link to this episode on my Twitter and Facebook pages so you can tune in at any time. Thank you to Travis Miller for creating and producing my show's theme song and to Scott Swish for mixing it. If this is your first time listening, I'm a professional musical artist, performer, inspirational speaker, and entrepreneur. I have created, directed, and executive produced over 200 charitable and inspirational events, including my popular Power of a Dream tour. I love mentoring, coaching, authentically being myself, and using my platform to encourage, empower, and bring out the gold in others. Tonight, our special celebrity guests are popular comedian, actress, speaker, and entertainer RASIKA MATHUR. She is best known from being an original cast member of the internationally known hit MTV's Nick Cannon's Wild N Out, her one-woman traveling show, her amazing characters, and hip-hop comedy. Also, championship-winning choreographer, dancer, and studio owner Byron Bucao will be joining us tonight. His title-winning dancers have been featured on Dancing with the Stars, America's Got Talent, and Chris Brown's music videos. We also have a brand new segment, What's Going On, with Christina Renee, and hopping on the panel tonight for her segment from our Living with Fearless Joy segment, Rick Wood, and a new Wellness Made Simple with Veronica segment tonight. I also want to share with you guys about this week I'm going to be at the Big Fresno Fair on Sunday. Our Power Dream Tour is going to be there from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. You know, Fresno is like our third home, and we love it there so much. And we're just coming for the day for our show, and then we're going to be heading back to Ventura County and LA County. Come and join us, say hi, and we have a lot of fun stuff in store for that day. My Power Dream Tour is always booking new shows and performances. This fall, we will be in San Luis Obispo, Ventura, Oxnard, Orange County, Fresno, Bakersfield, Kern County, and more. We love traveling, and if you're looking to bring Power Dream Tour, any of our award-winning, critically acclaimed artists or speakers to your city or event, please email me at SadeChampagneMusic@gmail.com. Once again, that's SadeChampagneMusic@gmail.com. And we love traveling. So like I said, if you want to bring us even to your state, that is totally an option as well. So you can just contact me and get it going because we would love to come to wherever you are. And we're super excited about what's coming up this year. And some other great news I want to share with you guys is that I found out recently that more of my mentoring programs are going to be in more schools all around Ventura County, and they're looking at other areas as well. And so this is amazing because you know how much I love mentoring and empowering the youth and teens and kids in our communities, and I'm thankful to see the opportunities that God is opening for me and all the doors that are being opened, and I'm just super thankful and excited for everything that's coming up. Lastly, and if you want to check out my different events and things that are going on, you just need to go to Facebook/Sade Champagne Music, or I think it's Sade Champagne Online. If you look it up, you will see it. But if you just type in, Sade Champagne, and you'll see our full schedule. Just look under events, and you'll see everything that's there. And lastly, I want to thank everyone who's been watching, sharing, and subscribing to all my new videos. I'm constantly writing new pieces and creating new songs, and I'm going into the recording studio very, very, very soon. And so I want to thank everyone who's been supporting us. If you want to find out more about my musical journey and how you can get involved, just check out GoFundMe.com/Sade Champagne Music. Once again, that's GoFundMe.com/Sade Champagne Music. I'm going to be live tweeting and posting on Facebook all show long, and we want to know your thoughts. Tweet me at Sade Champagne, Facebook me at Sade Champagne, Instagram Sade Champagne, hashtag Sade Champagne Show, or GHR to join in the conversation. Shout out to everyone who you guys tweet me every week, you Facebook me, Instagram me, everything, YouTube, email. We are so thankful for your support. So our special celebrity guest is on the line. I am super excited to be chatting with this beautiful, phenomenal, amazingly funny, inspirational woman. Engaging, empowering, and infectious energy and funny. Those are just a few of the words that describe the style of RASIKA Mathur's presentations, humorous talks, and uplifting speeches. She began as a dynamic advertising copywriter and presenter in Chicago and came to Hollywood to do improv comedy, accruing 5 seasons of MTV's Wild N Out under her belt. Yeah, that's right. She was one of the original cast members, so don't get it twisted. From 2014 to 2015, she challenged herself to write and perform a one-woman show, Mom, Dad, I have ADHD, and other ways to let down the Indian family. It was an interactive journey of her own personal struggles with her parents that left audiences from LA to Chicago to Texas moved and healed. The show, along with RASIKA's YouTube videos, has inspired thousands of young people to open up and explore bringing up difficult topics with their own traditional families. Her 3 years facilitating her popular chakra-based yoga classes at a reputable rehab facility in LA earned recognition from staff for helping to empower clientele to get clean or to go on to become future staff leaders. As president of Ventura's Oceanview Toastmasters, you go girl, RASIKA is passionate about educating every member and guest and becoming confident public speakers, activating our emotional intelligence during difficult situations, and communicating respectfully to children. She has most recently made her parents proud by taking a position with Elon Musk company Solar City. RASIKA, how are you doing tonight?
What's up, girl? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you really well. Yes?
Oh, good.
Yep.
My microphone's on. Hey, that intro was awesome. You make me sound so cool.
You are. You know how fond I am of you. I just will, brag about you all the time.
Well, it's this mutual, totally mutual. Congrats on, this is episode 30, season 2.
Yes. Yeah.
Those are some nice even numbers.
Thank you. We're so glad to have you back on tonight. I know you've been super busy, and I've been busy, but I'm glad we're able to have you on and chat for a longer period of time.
Thank you. And you guys are listening to the hardest working woman who is coming up in our generation. If I can do 30 of anything, that would be a feat.
You're so funny. Thank you. You're so silly. So for those who are just tuning in and getting to know you, please let them know how you got your start in comedy and the entertainment industry.
Yeah, I get that question a lot too from kids who say, "Well, how do I get started?" So I try to just tell them, "Well, this is what happened for me. First of all, stay in school because that is where you get to know yourself and your own personality." Based on what kind of work you have going on. So I would be kind of bored in some of my classes, and I would always try to spice up social studies, geography, like just doing little cartoons on my work. I mean, that's how it started, right? And it's not like you're saying F you to the teacher. You're just actually making them smile because you're kind of doing extra credit work, right? So I had this project about Hernan Cortez, and I did this whole thing about Malinche, his girlfriend, made this funny comic strip about the two of them getting it on, you know, bringing my own flavor to history. And everybody loved it. So I started to look like kind of the cartoonist in junior high, in high school. And then I went on to go into a speech class. That's my notification from Twitter, from you right now. And so we basically were able to, you know, do whatever speech we wanted as our last speech after you learn how to do like a eulogy or you learn how to do, you know, a presidential speech. And I basically impersonated JFK, you know. And for that last speech, I ended up screwing up my hand while performing Macbeth. I cut myself by accident, guys, doing the "Is this a dagger I see before me" scene. And I cut 3 tendons and a nerve. It was a horrible accident. I couldn't go to prom without a cast. I couldn't take my AP test unless it was with my left hand. And I basically turned that whole tragedy into my first comedy act. So there you go. And I had not only my speech teacher say, I love this. He said, I want you to go do this for your English class, too. So, you know, one thing led to another. It doesn't matter kind of where you find your audience, kids. It could be your class. And I'm not talking about being the class clown and disrupting. I'm talking about being smart enough to turn your assignment into your opportunity to do something really out of the box. And school is your best place to do it. So you can really have some, you know, all these teachers, all these movies about teachers who try to bring it out of their students by journaling or whatever, and then those kids suddenly find a new voice. They become slam poets. It's the same thing. That's what I'm talking about. So comedy may not be your expression, but if you already have an active place where you know there's going to be a group to gather around you, that's going to be your first audience, and you got to use that.
That's really good. And so what have you been up to since our last chat?
I have quite a few things, but not as many as last time because I'm also going underground, so Steve, don't talk about that stuff. Which thing should we talk about first? I know there's one thing I want to plug at the very end. Did you see the videos that I posted?
Yes, I love that. And I'm actually going to go into that as well, so you can share, because I wanted you to tell us about the new characters you've created and also your YouTube channel, too.
So there is a character, and let's just say this was inspired by the debates, okay? Because they left me a little hopeless. They left me.
Girl, who you telling?
Girl, I want to either write in Bernie Sanders. Okay, that's plan A. Plan B is let's just move to Canada. Okay, I got my passport in the works. Let's do that. Here's plan C. Okay, we just keep doing what we do, but teach each other to be better to each other. Okay, this summer the news is just too depressing, right? It's like I couldn't even find things to laugh about. Comedy, especially when you're a child of race, a lot of your comedy depends on color. And I couldn't find anything funny this summer, so I just stopped. talking. And I just want to reevaluate, like, what the heck is ground zero now? What can we even make fun of when things are so pay attention tragic, you know? And so created this character, and it's just sort of like in the vein of these New Jersey motivational speakers who are kind of all the rage, like Jordan Belfort, Gary Vaynerchuk. We also have an acting coach.
I was just thinking
She's
about
amazing. Yeah, Amy Jo Berman. She's really wonderful, and you can hear the New York accents coming out. And I just put on one, and it's called How to Not Be an A-Hole. That's it. How to not be an a-hole. And her name is Sheila Genta, and she just gives lessons to people on how to not be an a-hole with your life. And that's it. So it's kind of like a little vehicle. I'm just going to use it and write an e-book under this fake motivational coach.
Yes.
But she basically coaches the a-holes in your life. So bring them on. Because I realized this. I even realized this while working. My boss used to be Nick Cannon. Now it's Elon Musk. Okay, we're going to put people on Mars. People think it's great. But, we try to put solar on people's rooftops so we can have more sustainable energy, right? So I realized when I had a whole day of just hearing no, that's all I'm hearing, right? People don't want it. Not now. Oh, it's not that important. Who cares about the planet? I started to cry in the garden center. Okay, I'm vulnerable. I'm not just full of laughs. I'm full of tears too. And I looked at this plant called the lion's tail. I wasn't high, people. I'm serious, okay? And I realized something in me said, but do you want to do something where it's easy? Or do you want to keep preaching to the choir? Or do you want to talk to people who are a no and who are going to be difficult? Really, where is the work going to get done? Where is the difference in what you're doing going to get made? And that was like big girl moment. I wiped my tears and I said, all this stuff, we're only preaching to the choir. We're not reaching hard enough. So you've got to get out there and be like a warrior and go back out there and put your work or your product or your whatever you're doing in front of people who are going to be a no. Because that's hard. But that's who needs it.
Definitely.
And
what are your thoughts?
A-holes.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, come on, people. What are your thoughts on this upcoming election? I know you used over it a little bit, but what are your thoughts about it? And how do you also think that with social media and technology are playing a role into people taking on this evil and mean character? You know what I mean? Because it seems like that's really popular nowadays, is to be very mean, and it's easy for people to do through social media and technology. And I'm really disappointed to see that. And I know people will have say that it's happened before in former elections, but I don't think it's ever been this bad. Like, it concerns me to see people who will be essentially running our country are talking trash to each other on Twitter. Like, I don't think I can trust you. You know what I mean? If this is what you're going to be doing, like, what are your thoughts?
I mean, on the one hand, I consider it childish, right? But on the other, if they are trying to, I don't know, get the younger crowd, and that's where they think the younger crowd is hanging out, and they want to, like, talk spit through Twitter, okay, I mean, you're right. I don't trust you as my world leader. Your work should be, behind closed doors with other leaders of the world. I just thought this summer he's lost the respect of other countries, the way he talks and acts. And y'all know who I'm talking about. And I'm not going to comment on the other one. I'm just trying to comment on the lesser of two evils right now, that we need to just stop a impending disaster by not voting for Trump. I'm not sure what that means for the rest of us. I'm not really saying anything else about that statement, right? I'm not saying who to vote for. But
and according to you wish that Bernie Sanders was still in.
Yeah, and because that's someone who I just feel like he was serious, like he's not going to lose audience because of making some childish comeback. That right there, and that's the work that I do too, is just like, how are we carrying ourselves? How do you want to be seen by people? Celebrities might have a bad day, and then, the camera catches them, they're showing this, or they were seen doing that. It's hard. When you're in the public eye, you really have to groom all sides of you as much as you can. You have to know how responsible you better be because young people are paying attention to you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you know this, that you know, we went to In and Out that one night, right? And I was like, oh, man, this is great because there's kids from the show here, and that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
They were like, dang, she's here eating a burger with us. And I'm like, yep, I do that. I do that too. So sure, sometimes I like to forget that I'm just hanging in Ventura and Camarillo with people. I live up here. It's cool, you know. We're local. Local. We do stuff on the local level, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
And we're accessible people. But and maybe those guys just want to feel like they're accessible. That you can tweet me. I'm the best tweeter. I'm the greatest at tweeting. That's what I think.
Tweeting. Oh, that's so funny. So I also want to get your thoughts, social media and media especially, and, you know, their responsibility, or I should say them being very irresponsible when it comes to propaganda and race relations. You know what I mean? Because, like, you know, they will oftentimes obviously only show, you know, we can go so many different directions with this, but they will oftentimes only show one side to a story. So what happens is they're evoking emotions out of people. And I know part of it because we're entertainers and artists as well, and so you want to get a rise in emotions out of people. But it's when it becomes manipulative, you know what I mean, is when it's a challenge because, you know, a lot of people unfortunately don't know how to think for themselves and they don't know how to think critically. So what happens is they just eat everything that's thrown at them and that's forced down their throat, or I don't even say forced, but that's given to them. And, you know, then we have all these different types of, you know, challenges that are happening in our country. You know, and I'm saying this as an African American woman, as a woman of color. Obviously, yes, there's a lot of issues with race relations, but how much do you think the media plays into that and into really wanting to, I personally feel, cause like race riots and cause race wars?
Wow. I mean, the intent, people believe the intent is there, that it's a very evil organization. But I feel like, you know, let's not forget that all media has the power, right? So what I mean by that is you can see images projected that you don't like and agree with, and you question that is that the truth or not, and that's good. One way that, you know, I got so sick of Facebook Live because it's nothing but all my friends gardening, and I can't do that after a while. But there's one friend of mine, her video I wanted to watch. She's also a comic. Her name is Nika Williams. She's also an actress, at Nika Williams on Twitter. And she Facebook Lived her, she went to a Black Lives Matter protest. And I was like, dang, am I about to see my girl, you know, get pummeled by a cop? Like, I don't want to watch happen, even though, right, there's that morbid fascination with, I think they just showed the latest shooting, like, live in our break room.
Oh, my gosh.
They were like, I was like, wow, they're actually going to show it. Like, I don't know why it's now okay to show it. Right, there's an emotion that needs to be evoked, but I'm just trying to, like, can we at least protect some psyches? Like, some children. Do all children have to see how gruesome we can be to each other? Even though for some people will say, but Rasika, that's the truth. We deserve to see the truth. And same thing when my man was in the car and his girl was filming it, right? Like, I didn't watch that because I don't want to live with those images. And that doesn't mean I want to live in a rosy world. I mean, that's already how much my heart hurts. I don't have to see it to know that it happened. You know what I mean? And it's such a hurtful thing that we're doing to each other. So if there's any way we can use the media for something else, you know, I want to see the images of, you know, when that cop stopped that girl and he had ice cream. I want to see that because we have to balance it out. And as much as this is about race, listen, I talk to some ignorant white people who come into my store, and it makes me really mad. right? And I'll talk to African American kids, and they may not know what's going on, and they're young, and they don't know, right? So everybody is in a different place. And all I can do, Sade, is be good to everybody. Because I'm trying to talk to cops about doing yoga, and then they'll say, then they'll be in total denial that anything is happening. And I feel so angry, right? Because it's almost like, oh, they've all been given the same story by their force of what to say. And I can't tell you. And then it's like, well, then I want to educate my African American people. I want them to know what it's like to go deep within and find that peace and carry yourself in a different way so that you are attracting powerful experiences just in the way you're being, right? I feel like it's just personal responsibility. That's all we can do in this life is just keep spreading your light, right? Like all we can do is meet that darkness with light. And I think MLK said that too, and he did not have a peaceful end. And but what are we all here for? What are we all here for?
And I think people, they don't get that, honestly, the most dangerous, and I mean dangerous in a good way, but the most dangerous thing that you can have is, and the most powerful thing, is people coming together in their true identity, loving and empowering others. And I really feel like oftentimes in society people don't want that because it's more so to keep people running around like chickens with their heads cut off, running around in fear, running around thinking everyone's out to get them. And obviously I'm not saying, of course we know that racism exists. Of course we know that there are systems that need to be undone. But I don't believe that it starts at the top. I oftentimes believe it starts at the bottom. And as the people are coming together and empowering one another and are deciding that we're done with this, that we're not going to have our communities run like this anymore, that's then when the government and the people in power, or as far as with the resources and the funds and everything, then they like to jump on board and say, we always believed in this and we always supported it. No, people didn't support Martin Luther King until he started getting a really big buzz. And they were all, singing. And then they're like, yeah, we believe in the same thing. It's like, no, you didn't. But because it was something you could no longer ignore, then they jump on board. You know what I mean? And so I think, so I think you're really, so right about that with, us coming together. So what is a major challenge or hardship that you have overcome recently? And what words of encouragement would you give to another person who is struggling in their dreams or somewhere in their life right now?
Thank you. That's a great question. I know for me, I have had to deal with just some humblings in my life. Like you think that you are the ish, whether it's a career or in a family or in a relationship. And I'm talking about me for all three of those areas. And then you turn a certain age, and then you realize I just don't have a lot of time. Like I've been a big time waster, and it may look like I'm super busy, but I think I've been busy but not very focused. So I've been avoiding that question, what do I want, like nobody's business. And I heard this in this really great visualizing recording, and it said, if you don't know, I think his name is Sadhguru, and he said, if you don't know what you want, then the thought of it ever existing cannot arise in your mind. It can never become a thought. So you have to get really focused on what you want. I had to get really clear on what do I want? What do I want in a relationship? What do I want as a means of income? What do I want as my purpose in this world? And what do I want that success looks like on a day-to-day basis with the work that I do? And like at first I'd be like, yeah, but that's impossible, right? So there's all this resistance that I put up, and then I'd like go do something like go make a sandwich and eat and fill myself with cheese in order to like not deal with it. And then the next day, it's like, same thing. You got to get focused. So then what do you want? And I think about that thing I want, you know, like, oh, I want it to be easy to talk to these people. And I'm picturing it, but the whole time I'm telling myself, that's not you. You could never have that. So there's still resistance, but there's a little less resistance. Then next day, what do you want, Rasika? And I say really clearly, I want those people to come up to me, and then bam, you know, like they go solar. Bam, these people hire me on this speaking gig. And I'm picturing it all happen, and how you know, the guy's hair is white and it looks smooth, and we're talking, and you know, I just got my laptop right there. We're writing out details. Like, I'm just picturing it all happen. Good. Like, you know, like imaginary writing in my head. And then 2 days later, that scenario played out in real life. Wow. Dude had the white hair. All I'm saying is our own mind is the big enemy, and it's got the resistance in it. The resistance. This is from The Art of War by Stephen, The War of Art. The War of Art. That's the title of the book by Stephen Pressfield. If you are an artist, please get that book. I'm recommending it right now. And it will teach you about how resistance can take over your life. And then you have a milestone birthday and you realize, it's time to get off of that. We don't have a lot of time.
That's so funny because you literally are going into the next questions and things I want to talk with you about, which is funny because we haven't been able to speak on the phone in I don't know how long, but we're still so in tune in our spirits and our hearts, which I think is super cool. You know, and so because you mentioned that a lot about focus and staying true to who you are, and I think that's huge because that's something that I've been learning a lot about lately because, you know, life can be full of distractions and things can be full of waste in order to discourage us, and I don't know if that's necessarily always the purpose of it, but that's a lot of times what it can end up doing and intimidating us into thinking that either things are not going to change or we don't want to give 100% all, or you just get so drained and tired by whatever that circumstance or whatever that insecurity or lie is, that you don't find yourself focused anymore. You don't find yourself, you know, like you said, believing that you are worthy of more. And so I think that's huge, you know what I mean? And like you said, actually having people play through those thoughts in their mind and actually know what it is that you're processing through. Because sometimes, you know, the same way with other things in life, it just becomes natural to people and they don't realize that they've been telling themselves these types of stories and these hurtful things over themselves for so long and been thinking that, you know, and so I think that's really huge. And like what you were saying about focus as well, that's huge.
Yeah, because those thoughts magnify. They're real. When people say, oh, I got good vibes from that person, that's because the vibes are off the chain. It's like, woo, woo, woo. They're like emanating a dance party wherever they go, you know. And then there's people who feel it, like the way they carry themselves, everything, the vibe off that person is just off. And it's probably whatever you're getting from them is what is going on inside of that person. So we got to be clean on the inside. See, all this comes back to like, too, are you taking good care of yourself? Because I'm learning now a good day for me means there's some kale involved. Not from like a gardening Facebook Live video. I'm talking about a smoothie and something with spinach. And I know you don't want to hear it, okay? I know there's people out there who are like, they just turned off the radio. Well, I don't care because what you put in your body, okay, that night we had that In and Out, yes, we slept like pigs, okay? Because what we put in, that's what comes out. That's your energy. So make sure you're feeding yourself with some good stuff. That's all I'm going to say about it, because I'm probably going to have cheese after this, okay? And then admit your weakness. You are so silly. Admit your weakness. So silly. Oh, can I plug a couple of things?
Yes, that's what I want to share with you about. Yeah. See,
Speaking of being a
president, you're like reading my mind. So go ahead, sis. Go ahead,
so I love how you do things here locally too. I'm talking about are we in Ventura County? Is that where we're at?
Yes, we're in Ventura County, but the show is heard from people all over the world.
Ooh, congrats. So if you were lucky enough to be here in Southern California, although we're not that lucky this week because we might all die in an earthquake. So go ahead and just take this for what it is. One of the things I do out here in Ventura, California, I'm president of my Toastmasters club. I run a club called Oceanview.
Yeah.
You can look it up. Yeah. And my people in that club nominated me. I'd been in the club for 2 years, just doing what I do, right? Just being fun with all my speeches. And this has given me greater responsibility. So that's great because I didn't have any before. Now I have to be organized. But,
yeah.
you know, this is my way of getting to coach people in public speaking. So let me be your mentor. You guys can come club. We meet every every other Thursday at the Union Bank Partners Square. We're across from the Government Center. You can look it all up online, Oceanview Toastmasters. And this is how people get confident as public speakers. Our youngest member, she just joined. I think she's 21. I'm not sure. We'll take you as a teenager. And our oldest member, she is 82. She is amazing.
Wow.
She just placed first for the humorous contest. She says, I do this to keep my brain sharp. I've got 50-year-old women who come in and say, I kept putting this off. I kept finding I have to learn how to talk in front of people, and I never did it. Please come.
Right.
And you better believe that if I'm your mentor, I'm going to teach you to be funny. So it's a really good time, and we just have people come do little projects and then just kind of step up their game a little bit at a time. Very positive, supportive atmosphere. Then I'm working on a talk that I am going to do at the Integrative Wellness Expo. That's October 23rd. That's a Sunday.
Wow, you go,
from
girl.
10 to 8. Yeah, it's at the Crown Plaza in Ventura off the beach, y'all. Cool. And it's just going to be a great vibe there. We're talking about vibes. This is all about healing and wellness. I know you're into that too, girl. Evolutionary healing, experiential movements. You can get massages on site, okay?
Wow.
Online, you can go to Integrative Wellness Expo 2016.eventbrite.com. That's also how you can get your tickets. Only 22 on pre-sale. I'm going to be giving a talk. It's called Diffusing Criticism Without Getting Lizardy. And what I mean by that is we have two brains, and I'm going to talk about your lizard brain versus your higher brain, and kind of going back to what we were talking about, how to deal with difficulty in life. Are you going to come at it from that fearful, angry place, like respond like that or react like that, or are you going to take a breath, take a second, hear what's being said, all that. We're going to talk about it. We're going to role play it. It's going to be a great time for you to meet a different part of yourself.
Wow.
And, yeah, we're doing some good stuff up here.
Awesome. Well,
Before
I'm
we
going
all
to make
die in
sure
that
that
earthquake.
She is so silly. I'm going to have Rasika send me these links so I can post them for you guys on my Twitter and Facebook pages as well and share it. And I want to thank you so much, Rasika, as we are wrapping up. Share with everyone how they can follow you on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and also subscribe to your YouTube channel.
Ooh, listen, if I approve you on Instagram, consider yourself one of the lucky ones, okay? Because I'm not always approving. That one is Paprika Orange 09 at Paprika Orange 09. That's Instagram. If you want to be on Twitter, you can follow me at RasiRas, RASIRAS. I don't want you to follow me, Trump. And on YouTube, I am youtube.com/Ross76. Oops, just give away the age, y'all. But it's just a number. It's all in your mind.
You look amazing, girlfriend. Well, I'm so glad I've chatted with you tonight, and thank you for continuing to be who you are and such an inspiration and encouragement. You're one of the people where I'm wealthy already in spirit, but when my bank account reflects my wealthy spirit, you're going to be someone I'm going to be funding your dreams and all the things that you love and investing in you. And so you just better get ready for that. So make sure you do know what you want, like you said, and where you want to take it, because I'm going to be Blank check.
You
so
are
you
now
can write
part
what you
of
want on
the
it.
vision. Oh my gosh.
I'm for real.
Hey,
I'm serious.
Your positivity, that means that I've been radiating the right stuff because, see, it attracted you.
I'm serious about it. Everyone, this is the beautiful RASIKA MATHUR. Thank you so much for calling in tonight. Next up, we have my Sean with Lessons. You're listening to the Sade Champagne Show on Grind Hard Radio.
When I'm looking for a yummy and tasty dessert treat, I turn to Mighty Bites Cupcakes and Catering. Andrea catered for my birthday party last year, and her cupcakes were a big hit. What I love most about these tiny cupcakes is how fluffy and moist they are, melting in my mouth with every bite. She has many flavors to choose from so that every kind of taste bud can be satisfied. Mighty Bites specialties include custom catering, drop-off meals, personal event and meal planning, cupcakes, cookies, pie pops, and other specialty desserts. Andrea says, if you're hungry, I'll feed you. Call 805-216-9444. Once again, that's 805-216-9444 to place your order. Her website is mightybytes.vpweb.com. You can also email mightybytescupcakes@gmail.com. Once again, that's mightybytescupcakes@gmail.com to place your order. Or Facebook, Mighty Bites Cupcakes. She is located at 1401 Tower Square in Ventura, California, and services all of Ventura County.
Hey, this is Rick with the Living with Fearless Joy segment. You're listening to the Sade Champagne Radio Show on Grind Hard Radio.
Welcome back to the Sade Champagne Show on Grind Hard Radio. We are getting ready for our next segment, What's Going On, with Christina Renee. Tonight on the panel, we have multi-threat artist, host, producer, model, and designer Christina Renee, who actually leads this segment, and special guest, another castmate, Rick Wood, from our Living with Fearless Joy segment. How are you guys doing tonight, Rick and Christina?
Good. How are you, Sade? How are you, Rick?
I'm doing well. Christina, good to hear your voice.
Likewise.
Yay.
Hi, Sade.
Hi, I always love chatting with you guys. So let's get right into it. Christina, what's the first topic you have for us tonight?
The first topic that I had in mind to discuss was Hurricane Matthew. I kind of want to go where it's, well, right now it's actually in Haiti and the Bahamas, but it looks like the U.S. is going to be hit pretty hard actually in Florida, and I kind of wanted to go over what's being changed en route as far as the hurricane, and also some choices that you can make, especially people that are in Florida listening, and our South Carolina and North Carolina, some preventative measures that they can take so that they are safe and that their family's safe during this time. Okay, so as you all know, probably if you've seen on social media or the news, Hurricane Matthew has been talked about from one of the biggest hurricanes they've seen since Floyd coming up the U.S. coast. Also, it's also been named the Demon Hurricane because there was photographs from the Weather Channel where the satellites were zoomed out and it sort of looked like a scary-looking skull with a crazy red eye, which is where the hurricane center point was. So it had started off as a really big, massive scale hurricane that was a size 5, but once it got to right now it's in Haiti, it's a size 3, and it's got about 115 mile per hour winds, and it's moving northwest at about 12 miles per hour. So it's kind of like stagnant over Haiti and the Bahamas right now, and it's moving really, really slow. So we have to keep those countries and the people in prayers. Is, you know, in that area especially, it's continued to be hit by hurricanes and, you know, the water natural disasters. And I believe Thursday, tomorrow, Miami's going to get hit pretty hard. It's supposed to be up to 130 mile per hour winds as it approaches Miami Beach. I've had some friends that live in Florida say that there is absolutely no more gas at the gas stations in Miami, towards Melbourne, Daytona Beach. They said that the grocery stores have been wiped clean. There was no more milk or bread on the shelves, even at Target, which most people normally buy their groceries from an actual grocery store chain. But, you know, Target does sell groceries. Even my friends that, you know, they went to the grocery stores down there, they said even Target and, you know, second, third kind of food retailers don't even have much on their shelves, much less they can't really get anywhere because of the gas being gone. And I think it's crazy, and truly is crazy. So my friends that are in Florida that have prepared themselves already, I just want to let you know to first, remain calm. Know that communications might be down as far as cell phone towers. If you do have a landline, make sure that your phone's connected directly into the wall, that it's not a cordless phone, as you will need to be directly into the landline for that landline to work if the landlines, don't get flooded because it is a hurricane. But I'm pretty sure that a lot of people in Miami and Fort Lauderdale, they were asked to evacuate. The flights have been canceled out of Miami International Airport. Also, Fort Lauderdale flights have been canceled for Thursday, tomorrow as well. Schools all the way up to South Carolina, Florida, on the coastal region, they've been asked to discontinue school for the rest of this week. Any kind of public buildings has been closed down for the rest of the week as right now. So they're about to endure some really bad weather. Rick, is there anything that you want to add on far as the preventative measures that people can take right now that are about to experience the hurricane?
Yeah, unfortunately, like you said, a lot of times people wait till it's too late. But I grew up in South Texas, and we dealt with hurricanes quite often. Same thing, very similar to Florida. So I'm hoping and believing that most people there are prepared and have batteries for their flashlights, and another thing is people forget that they don't have running water. There's several gallons in your tank of your toilet, and I know it sounds gross, but that's actually clean water. There's things like that. So hopefully they're all boarded up. Hopefully everybody has batteries for their flashlights, and they just can hunker down and ride the storm out. A lot of times it's a little more fearful if you're not prepared. I know that they will have emergency services will be up and running, those men and women who get out there and do that. And I would encourage people, if they are underprepared, reach out to a neighbor, a friend, somebody in the community that maybe can help them, make up for their lack of preparedness. But nobody should be alone, and try to reach out and huddle together, if you will, and be a community.
Yes, I agree. And thank you, Rick, for also sharing about the clean water in the toilet, because that's something that I have never thought about. And I actually was in Hurricane Isabel and Hurricane Floyd, and we didn't have power for 2 weeks. And it was a rough 2 weeks for us. And something I'd also like to add on to that is, especially people that get their water from, the county, make sure you wait until the county has tested that water to make sure that it's able to be, consumed, because especially with the flooding and the all the water from the hurricane, it can pull a bunch of the chemicals used in the farmlands, or whatever else is just leaking out. It can get into the water system. So remember to wait until the clearance has been done by the county to make sure that you can drink the water, or you can always boil the water and then consume it if you have access to that. So that is. We're just gonna hope you guys remain safe over there. Don't forget also to, after the hurricane has passed, to make sure you check all of your electrical installations. Make sure nothing's sparking or stripped wires or burning smells. If you have gas, make sure that you don't smell any gas, or that there's no gas leaks, because normally those are the things that after the hurricane, to me, those are things that are more harmful than during the hurricane, because it's like the aftermath of the hurricane is what puts a lot of people in danger. So
the other thing too, I thought about as you were talking was, pets. If your pet does not have a collar with your name and address or contact information, figure out how to get that on there. Even if you can't leave your house, you got to try some kind of ingenious way. But a lot of pets get lost in this kind of weather, and so that's a big deal too. So especially if you have an indoor-outdoor cat, make sure they have their collar on with your name on it. If you have a dog, bring them inside. The fences can blow down, things like that. So make sure your pet has his collar and his ID tags on him.
Thank you, Rick. That was also another great thing to point out.
Let's just say if I was on a deserted island, I would want Christina and Rick there with me because between the both of them, we will survive. Because they're giving like all these good tips. I'm like, that's wise. That makes really good sense. So I got first dibs, just so anybody knows. What a deserted island I'm taking Rick and Christina.
And that's just the funny thing, because I feel like all of us, anyone, can make wise decisions of what to do and how to get things as far as fresh water and food, afterward. But it's once you're in that panic mind state, it's really hard to think clearly, because the only thing you're thinking of is how to get out of it alive. So and with any situation that's dangerous.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Rick.
Go ahead, Rick.
Oh, I was going to say, I know you're going to talk about, earthquake preparedness and stuff like that as well. But that's one thing we did when we were in California for all those years is, we tried to make sure we had some water in the garage, some canned food, batteries for flashlights, candles, matches, things like that. That, it's not like you're being fearful. It's just like, hey, just be prepared, be a Boy Scout, And it doesn't hurt to have that stuff stuck away for a rainy day. So I think no matter where you live, especially if you live in a place where natural disasters are common or can be, I think we just all need to be prepared.
Yes. And a lot of and it's funny because now that you mentioned earthquakes, for all of us that are actually on the other side of the United States right now, all of us that are on the west side in California, we've had a lot of emergency warnings from several different SoCal counties outside of San Diego because of the several tremors that have been going on near the San Andreas fault line. It's really important that you know that we on this side, as well as anywhere else, because there's really earthquakes anywhere. I've had earthquakes in Virginia, but it's a little bit different preparedness than a hurricane. As Rick was saying, have that water around, have that canned food. Make sure you have something that you can open the canned food with, so you don't go crazy banging it against the wall or the ground trying to open it.
Right.
Make sure that you have scissors, just in case you need it to cut a piece of clothing off, whatever you may need the scissors for. Also remember that because during earthquakes, a lot of the anything really electrical is kind of down, because the towers start falling, stuff starts catching on fire because of the gas leaks from the pipes. I mean, you just really have to remember to have that little book bag saved, because you don't know if you have to actually evacuate out of your building. And if you do choose to evacuate, remember to stay away from like bridges and tall buildings, places that can create landslides. So if you're like in the hills or the mountains here in California, just try to stay, as far as away from those things. And unlike a tornado, you don't want to stand in a door frame during a earthquake. You actually want to go to a corner, because the corner it's going to be more stable if something happens to come down. If you're in a door frame, that's normally where, when buildings split, it's going to be in the middle and the center of the buildings. You want to be as far away from that as you can. You don't want to be near windows. You kind of want to just be in a corner, crouched down, hovering something over your head like a pillow, just in case something falls. So thanks for bringing up those things about keeping that water close and canned food, because no one will have access to those things. It's also good to have a family plan. If you and your family are spread out throughout the day, whether your kids are at school or your wife or husband is at work, have a meeting place. If you can't get in touch with your family, you guys need to have a meeting place. This is where we'll meet back at the home, or if we can get there. Or if the home is not a safe place, okay, all of us are going to meet at this place in the city. So just make sure that you guys have a plan to meet up with each other, because it's hard to find people in a city with over 20 million people. So especially can't use your cell phone or landline. So just keep that in mind.
It's really good advice, and we're keeping everybody in our thoughts and prayers, and know that we're here for you. And and I'm thankful for all this information you guys shared tonight. I think it's super valuable. So, Christina, what is the second topic you have for us tonight?
The second topic I would like to discuss is the situation that Kim Kardashian recently has went through. She was robbed while she was in Paris. There are so many questions that all of us had, like, how did Kim Kardashian get robbed? She has so many bodyguards, It's just, every time you see her, you see at least two really big dudes that looks like they could just flick you away. I mean, I at first I didn't want to believe it, because like there's no way Kim Kardashian could have got robbed. She has bodyguards. even when she's sleeping. I mean, she just has bodyguards all the time, so it's hard for me to believe. But once the actual story, you know, you can't judge something until the stories come out. It was kind of crazy. So while she was in Paris, she was staying at a hotel. Kanye West wasn't with her at the time because Kanye West was doing a concert. And her stylist and her best friend was staying down the hall. Well, early that morning, I guess several vigilantes were kind of like stalking her. I mean, obviously they had to be because they knew where she was staying. They were stalking her, and somehow they got into the hotel. The concierge this hotel is very high class, by the way. This is a place that Kanye has been staying in and out since 2011. So this place knew him.
Not anymore.
And knew to keep it secure. Yes. And anyway, these two men got in at first, and they took the concierge. They put handcuffs on him somehow. They pretended to be the police, basically. They put handcuffs on him, and they sort of like left him down there wherever, you know, the sitting area might have been, that's sort of like out of sight. And the other guys, I believe it was 5 altogether. That number's kind of been fluctuating between 2 and 5 now. We probably won't know until the end of, you know, all of this actually comes out. But they went upstairs. They tied Kim up. She was by herself. Her kids was not there. They tied her up with tape. They gagged her. They put her in her bathtub, and they held her at gunpoint while the robbers, you know, they stole her ring that Kanye West gave her, which was a $3 million diamond ring.
Holy cow.
Oh,
yes.
I know.
That ring is gone, and they also stole a total of $10 million worth of jewelry. Now, so total.
$10 million worth of jewelry.
No.
Well, the
that's
thing
another thing. If anyone looks at Kim's Instagram, she's always flaunting all the jewelry, so you'll see where it's at. She's kind of been wearing it.
They said though, but if her ring was worth 3 point, however many million, that means if all her jewelry was that expensive, they probably only got a couple pieces was all they needed to total up to 10 million. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
They probably didn't leave out of there with like a huge like bag of jewelry. They probably just got a few pieces, and it was super expensive stuff.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, especially with a lot of these high situations, we think about the questions. Okay, when pieces of art get stolen, they end up being returned because no one's going to buy a piece of stolen art because eventually someone's going to see it and turn you in. So people are questioning, well, what's going to happen with the jewelry? And especially that a lot of Kim's jewelry was, custom made. It's designer. It's specifically made for her. And especially her ring from Kanye. And they're, one of the jewelry, I guess, I'm going to call him the jewelry doctor because he sort of assesses all these situations that go on in Paris. He said that there was like pretty much only 3 things that can happen at the time. Either they could take it apart and sell the metals and the small stones be sold on the black market, while they'll probably end up into Antwerp, which is Belgium's diamond district, within weeks. Or they could take, especially her stone, they could recut it to make it look different and, resell it that way. Or, they could just sell it to someone under the black market that likes stolen jewelry because it's cheap. So I don't know if Kim will ever.
Do you know, like, I know some diamonds there, I know some diamonds, I didn't read this. I didn't read this anywhere, but I know some diamonds, they actually engrave under, like, they have some kind of, I don't know how they do it, technology, but they put a number. So they have a serial number. So you can't cut it out, if you will. So I wonder if they had that on her diamond, and they're not saying anything because to track it. It'd be interesting to see.
This is going to be an interesting story to see. And wow, Rick, I didn't even know that they did that. And that's really smart. And I hope
for
that
$3.4 million, you better.
Exactly. You better get all of those little tiny intricate things that make that ring safe.
Well, they had insurance, I'm sure. I know they had insurance on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would have.
I'm sure it was given to
her.
Yeah, but I'm sure it was given to her. I bet you they obviously, yes, they have a lot of money and they can afford it, but most people when they get that wealthy, they don't buy that stuff themselves, especially how they're successful they are. She gets paid just to wear stuff. You know what I mean? So I wonder how many things she actually, obviously you still don't want anyone stealing from you, but I think when you get to that certain type of wealth, unless if you're like Oprah, you know, who likes to buy her own things, most of those people love having people buy things for them and, you know, promoting it, and they get paid to wear it, you know, so.
Isn't that funny? The more money you have, things you can afford, and yet a lot of times you're wearing stuff that's free. You know, it's crazy to me. You know, it's like they can afford to go buy this car, or this, you know, jacket, or this dress, but you know, people want them to wear it, so they basically give it to them for free, and you're like, they could afford to buy it, they don't have to buy it. It's really funny.
Yeah, that is always been funny to me too. That has been funny. I did want to add a little bit one extra thing onto the. I wanted to add one extra thing onto the story, just for all of us, you know, that were wondering, okay, so now that we know how they got into the building, we wanted to know where her bodyguard is, right? Well, you know, her two sisters, Kendall and Courtney, was there with her in Paris, but they weren't with her in the hotel at the time. They were out in the city. And because her bodyguard, Pascal, he took, you know, he went with the sisters to look after her sisters, Courtney and Kendall, you know, as they were in the town of Paris. So he wasn't there at the time, and insiders has said that it's known for Kim to be in a place that she feels safe, and they'll let her be alone, which, of course, all of us want a little bit of privacy. But because she felt safe, she was in a hotel that, you know, Kanye has been staying at since 2011. He felt very safe there. There's concierge service. You have to go several steps before even you can get to that level. You have to go through the concierge. You have to have a key to get on the elevator. You have to have a key to access the floor, key to access the room. There's just so many steps that has to be taken before you can actually get into the room. So her feeling safe, that's why she was there by herself, because her bodyguard actually was with her two sisters at that time. And I believe it was around 2 or 3 a.m. So I'm imagining that Courtney and Kendall maybe had went out to a bar or a nightclub or something for a drink. So that's why he went with them.
Well, I still want to know, why does she only have one bodyguard? They have enough money to hire tons of them. And I think, I'm not a violent person, obviously. I'm very loving and encouraging, but I think everybody should know how to body slam a couple people. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to be able to make it. You can't just make it look like, obviously I'm not going to be posting all that stuff, and I'm not going to be buying a lot of those expensive things because it's just not my taste. But you have to let it be made known that you're not someone that people can mess with. And my bodyguards are probably going to be small like me and packed with power, because I wanted to, like, surprise people. They'll be like, oh, I thought that was just her friends, and boom, they got knocked out, and we didn't want it to happen, but you tried it.
This is the bottom line is, this is like a well-coordinated heist. This isn't some street robbery, you know. This is like, the bodyguard could have been on it, the hotel, any number of people with that much money going around.
It's an inside job.
You have no idea. So, you know, something like this it's interesting for us to think about, but, I mean, it's like, this is like, could make a movie. It's Mission Impossible, you know.
That's exactly. I wonder when this went on.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out that there's a person on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to
This is exactly. Too. Go ahead, Sade.
I was going to say, I think they should get sued, too, because I don't understand. If you have all these keys to get into places, I don't care if you say you're a police officer and what you look like. You need to show me your badge, and we need to call everybody up there and make sure that you are where you are.
Right.
You shouldn't be able to go up into every place, because I don't even secure, like, police officers, if they go and search something, they have to have, like, a search. You know, don't they have, like, to have some type of warrant or something?
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't know. This wouldn't have gone down in the U.S., I tell you that.
Well, yeah,
no.
exactly.
I think another reason they were overseas, and especially in Paris. Paris is so crime-ridden. Like, it is really not a safe city to visit, especially if you're taking, you know, a lot of luxuries with you, because there's just, it's really not a safe city. I love my friends in Paris, and I think the city is beautiful, but you have to take extra precautions when traveling outside the United States, because their security is not the same as it is here. And especially in some parts of the city, it's very lax. And the city is actually in on some of these, you know, heist situations.
Of course.
But I would like to say one thing for all of us, anyone who's listening. It's important to secure where you are living, because you never know, or even where you're staying, even hotel rooms, you never know where a situation like this might occur at all. And I have a almost 2-year-old son, and he gets in and out of the doors. Like, he is an escape artist already before he turns 2. So when this story arose, it sort of reminded me of how I bought this contraption to put in my door, and you can travel with it. It doesn't, take away from the door frame or the doorknob or cause any kind of damage of that sort, but it adds extra security so no one can get in. Now, I'm not sure of the door that Kim had on the suite that she was in, but I do know for any regular doors that have any kind of door handle or any kind of like lock and latch system going on, there's this thing called an add-a-lock. It's basically spelled ADD, add, and then A-lock, A-L-O-C-K. Put it all together, it's called add-a-lock. You stick it inside the door on your side, and then close the door on top of the metal piece, and so the door basically threads the lock and bolt through into the frame as usual. And then once you close the door, you wrap this little chain and plastic piece and buckle it. No one on the other side of the door can get into that door unless they take the door frame off, okay? It is very secure, and for a 2-year-old, it's wonderful because he doesn't know how to take that thing apart to open the door. So he can't get in. But what I wanted to share this with you guys, because especially when traveling and in hotels, you never know who's out there. You never know what's going on. I would highly suggest maybe buying this as an extra precaution for when you're traveling in hotels, because then no one from outside that can get inside. Now for safety reasons, if something does happen inside, they have to get in. It's always best to make sure you're in a room with a window, just in case someone has to get in. But I just wanted to share that with you guys as an extra precaution. So maybe this doesn't happen to you. Maybe Kim might hear about this so it doesn't happen to her, because you cannot get in that door with this contraption at all until the person on the inside takes it off. So all of my people listening in California, Texas, New York, all the listeners around the world and outside of the United States, it's called add-a-lock. You can put it into your door frame, and you take it off at the same time once you open the door. It's very easy. It's not easy for a 2-year-old, but it's very easy. You don't have to put it together. You just use it, and it adds that extra sense of security that no one can get into your door unless you're taking the door frame off. So I just wanted to kind of conclude this with that.
Yeah, and I think it's funny, too. I want to end on a funny note. I think it's interesting, Rick, that you said that this could be a movie, because if you know their mom, Kris Jenner, she is always 2-3 steps ahead of the game, and I bet you this is going to turn into a movie, and she's going to make money off of it, and she's going to make more money than what was stolen from them. Watch her.
Oh, yeah. I agree with Rick and Sade. I agree with you both about them making a movie, because it seems like everything that Kim goes through, it seems like she goes through a lot more than her other sisters. But everything
and they turn into money.
Kris comes along and she turns it into money. So hooray for her making a positive out of a negative situation.
So as we're wrapping up tonight, guys, do you guys have any final thoughts, Rick or Christina?
Yeah,
I'll go ahead and let Rick go first.
Yeah, I thought about this whole situation and scenario, and I was like, to me, for everyday people, because I'm not a Kardashian yet, I don't have that kind of money yet, but everyday people, if somebody tries to rob me or whatever, you can't steal what I'm willing to give. And so I think, like, in the back of my mind, in America, we're so let's fight back, and I'm going to carry my gun, and you try to rob me, I'm going to shoot you or whatever. As a follower of Jesus, he said, lend without expecting return. If somebody forces you to walk 1 mile, you walk 2. So me, I'm like, you know what? I just need to have in my mind somewhere, in my person, I want to be the kind of person that somebody says, give me all your money. I'm like, no, because or I'll kill you. Say, no, I'm going to give it to you because I'm going to bless you with it, because then I know it's going to come back to me anyway, and so I think it's kind of my attitude with possessions and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I was going through my mind, is like, how can I be a person in this kind of situation where I'm not so worried about my thing, where I can be worried about my stuff and be worried about that, be more concerned about that person, and also be concerned about my safety and my family's safety, if you will. So I don't know, it's kind of a funny thought, and people may disagree, but that's my 2 cents.
Okay, awesome. I love that. What about you, Christina?
I agree with Rick as far as, treating everything as material, because that's what it is. You can't give a life back. But you can
Right.
always rebuy something that's been taken away, but you can't bring that life back. And I agree with Rick. That's what's most important. And that's why I decided, well, Rick and I both wanted to share with listeners right now, what to do with hurricanes, what to do with earthquakes, what to do in situations to help prevent a little bit of robbery, because you can't get a life back, but you can get those material items back. And I just want to co-sign everything that Rick just said.
Awesome. As I said,
100.
I would definitely give them away my thing, because I'm not trying to, I don't need it that bad. But if they try to hurt me, they will get body slammed, and then when they come to, I will speak the great gospel to them. That's what we'll do.
You guys better watch out, because Sade's been posting her workout pictures, and I know her abs are coming through, so she will body slam you. No ifs and or buts.
You guys are so funny. It's so good having you all on tonight. Thank you so much. This is What's Going On with Christina Renee and special guest Rick Wood. Right now we have William Matthews with Don't Worry. Keep listening to the Sade Champagne Show on Grind Hard Radio.
Are you looking for a dynamic musical artist, performer, host, or inspirational speaker for your next event? What about a mentor, vocal instructor, or workshop leader for your school, company, or seminar? Contact Sade Champagne for countless professional services that are sure to fit your particular need. She is an in-demand, award-winning, and critically acclaimed musical artist, performer, inspirational speaker, and entrepreneur who is invited all around the world. She is known for having a powerful voice, turning ideas into action, creating, directing, and executive producing popular, charitable, and inspirational events, and bringing out the gold in others. Her services are for all ages, backgrounds, and environments. Contact Sade Champagne at SadeChampagnemusic@gmail.com. That's Sade Champagne Music @gmail.com to book her for your next event or project.
Beautiful people. See, this is why I don't sing on the show. Hey, guys, this is Christina Renee from the What's Going On segment on the Sade Champagne Show, and you're listening to Grind Hard Radio.
Welcome back to the Sade Champagne Show on Grind Hard Radio. Our next segment of the night is Wellness Made Simple. Join certified holistic life coach, clinical aromatherapist, and inspirational speaker Veronica Esquivel-Winters to get some easy and practical tips on how to start living a holistic life, bringing unity to your mind, body, and spirit. Hashtag Wellness Made Simple to ask her your health and wellness questions and join in the conversation.
Hi, this is Veronica Esquivel-Winters with the Wellness Made Simple segment on the Sade Champagne Show. Last week, I went ahead and shared a few quick and easy tips on how you can keep your immune system healthy and strong for this upcoming flu and cold season. So I figured I'd go ahead and share a few foods that you can incorporate into your diet to also help keep your immune system healthy and strong. The first thing you can go ahead and incorporate in your diet is citrus fruits. Citrus fruits are high in vitamin C, and vitamin C is known to increase the production of white blood cells that are key to fighting any infections. Some examples of citrus fruits are oranges, grapefruit, tangerines, lemons, limes, clementines. You can also incorporate one of these things or all of them if you like into your diet weekly, and it's really simple. For example, you can make yourself some fresh squeezed orange juice in the morning, or you can pack a tangerine into your lunch, or you can sprinkle lemon juice over your salad. And grapefruits are not only high in vitamin C, but they're also great for your digestive system, and they help burn fat. Next are almonds. Almonds are packed with vitamin E, and vitamin E is key to a healthy immune system. It's a fat-soluble vitamin, which means it requires the presence of fat to be absorbed. A half cup of almonds, which equals about 46 whole almonds, provides nearly 100% of the recommended daily amount. So it's super easy and simple. All you have to do is pack half a cup of almonds and have them ready and available for you to eat and snack on throughout the day. The next one is turmeric. Turmeric is a bright yellow, bitter spice that has been used for years in keeping a healthy immune system. It's also an anti-inflammatory, which also helps boost our immune system as well. You can find it in a form of a spice, and what I personally like to do is sprinkle it over my salads, or you can buy organic turmeric root, take a piece of it and boil it, and you have yourself a yummy tea. You can also add some raw honey to it for some extra health benefits. Speaking of teas, green tea is next on the list. Green tea is packed with flavonoids, which is a type of antioxidants. Green tea also contains high levels of EGCG, another powerful antioxidant. It also contains the amino acid L-theanine, which aids in the production of germ-fighting compounds in your T cells. So get cozy, grab yourself a nice big cup of green tea, and sip away. Spinach is next on our list. Spinach is not only rich in vitamin C, it's also packed with numerous antioxidants and beta-carotene, which increases the infection-fighting capability of our immune system. So that all the nutrients are retained, spinach is better eaten raw or lightly cooked. Last but not least is garlic. Garlic's immune-boosting properties come from a heavy concentration of sulfur-containing compounds, such as allicin. Garlic is also said to help in lowering blood pressure and slowing down hardening of the arteries. So grab some fresh garlic and add it to your favorite dish. This concludes our list for today. There is plenty more teas, tinctures, and foods to add to the list. But I feel with today's list, along with last week's tips, will get you on a good start to a healthy and strong immune system in preparation for the upcoming flu and cold season. I look forward to our next segment together. Until next time, be in good health. This is Veronica Esquivel-Winters with the Wellness Made Simple segment on the Sade Champagne Show. Cheers.
Next up, we have one of my favorite segments that we have introduced to the Sade Champagne Show this season, Say What? This is where I feature clips from some of my favorite inspirational speakers and authors. These are spiritual and grace-based clips that reflect my faith and what I believe. These speakers have all brought great hope, encouragement, empowerment, and healing to my life and thousands of other people all around the world. Tonight we have a word of encouragement from Greg Henry. Hashtag Say What to join in the conversation.
Man, I just felt like while praise and worship was going on that there's somebody that's got like something going on in their life. Not like in a relationship or something with their kid, just something that's like a present like thorn in their side that is like always trying to stare them in the face and always trying to make them feel frustrated, always trying to make them think that they're in lack, always trying to make them think that this isn't as it ought to be, and kind of just getting their eyes on that all the time, where they have periods of time where they can let it go and they forget about it, but the thing is still around, so they find themselves being jugged in the side by it, like a thorn in the flesh. They find themselves always feeling weak from time to time and then feeling like maybe God had forgotten about them, that maybe God has left them there to deal with this thorn and that he's not thinking of them and that God can't see that they need help and they need salvation in this. And I just feel like God's telling you that he hasn't forgotten about you, that in this weakness he's making you strong and that his grace is sufficient for you while this thorn is actively there messing with you. And I'm not talking about some sickness. Okay? This isn't some sickness that I'm talking about either. It's just some situation in somebody's life. I don't know if it's a job. I don't know if it's they're in school and it's a professor, or I don't know exactly what it is. Or it's a class that they can't seem to wrap their brains around, or they're not getting enough of a good grade. Maybe it's a professor that is having difficulty with the students. I don't know. But I just hear God saying he hasn't forgotten about you, that he hasn't left you there, and that his grace is sufficient for you. And to let your mind go away from the thorn and to go towards his grace and to realize that in your weakness, his grace is being made strong in you. And that his grace is enough for you to conquer, that you don't need to focus on this thorn coming and going or being removed, that you can focus on his grace and you can find his grace strengthening you and causing you to no more see that thorn. Glory to God. I think the main thing is that the frustration is coming that you think he's forgotten about you. And that, you know, you feel like you've been believing. And you feel like, where's God? You know, and you're thinking, well, believing's great, but I'd sure like for this thorn to change. And I just feel like God's saying that, man, in your weakness, he's being made strong. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, man. Understands your frustration. He doesn't despise you for being frustrated. He's not busy thinking, why is this guy frustrated? Why won't he just believe? That he understands why you could feel frustrated. I just feel like, man, I can just feel his compassion for you in that place. That he knows that Jesus has also felt what it's like to feel a thorn in the side. And I could just feel God saying through Jesus, me too, man. I've been there too, and I know. And that he feels great compassion for you in this place, and that he's working in your life, and he has not forgotten you. He has not left you. He has not abandoned you. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah.
Welcome back to the Sade Champagne Show on Grindhard Radio. Our second special guest is on the line. I've been wanting to have him on for a while now. He's a longtime friend and supporter of mine. Byron Bucao was born and raised in the city of Oxnard, California. He started dancing in an all-male hip-hop group back in 2000. Byron then became part of Channel Islands High School's all-male dance team, who went on to winning numerous competitions, including 3 USA national titles. To further his training, he moved on to the college dance scene, where he spent 2 years dancing and choreographing for Cal State Long Beach Pac Modern, which won and placed at many competitions. He also danced for Nonstop and Maven Dance Company. He now currently runs a dance company of his own in Oxnard called the Alias, which consists of over 100 dancers ranging from the ages of 4 to 19. He created the Alias dance program almost 13 years ago now, and has brought them all over California to win multiple championship titles. He has also had the honor to bring his dancers on America's Got Talent, Dancing with the Stars, and to be a part of Chris Brown's 3X music video. Dancing and teaching has opened many opportunities for Byron to pursue his dancing career. He also was the co-owner of Studio B. He was a private instructor for the children of Metta World Peace, formerly known as Ron Artest, for 2 years, and has choreographed for numerous dance teams such as UCLA's Samahang Modern, CLU's dance team, USB's dance team, CSUN's FASA Modern, Quartz Hill High School, San Marcos High School, Dos Pueblos High School, Pacifica High School, Rio Mesa, The Entertainment, The Sandlot, 14K Jewels Dance Company, Premier Dance Company, FLK Dance Crew, and many more. Byron is eager to help better others as well as himself to become a stronger person as well as a stronger dancer. And he was also awarded as one of my Artists on a Mission honor at the 2nd Annual Dare to Dream Music Festival last year. Hey, Byron, how are you doing?
Pretty good, Sade. Thanks for having me. How you doing?
I'm so glad to have you on. It's been so long, too long.
Oh, I know. How are you?
I'm doing well, busy as usual, but in a good way. So when did you first get into dancing, performing, and entertainment?
I got into it actually when I was in elementary school. I used to go to my sister's competition. She was actually in the drill team from Channel Islands High School. And I'd see all the hip-hop dance crews, compete. And I really wanted to get into it after that, after I saw everyone screaming for all these hip-hop dancers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's how I got into it. And then after that, I joined a youth team, all-boy hip-hop crew that was taught by older dancers from Channel Islands High School. Yeah, that's how I started dancing.
Awesome. Were your family and friends supportive of you?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's better than me just being at home playing video games. That's what I was doing before.
Mm-hmm. And when did you know that you wanted this to be your life?
I really didn't realize I wanted to make a career of it till after high school. I started teaching kids in my garage, 9 kids to be exact, when I was a senior in high school. And then it kind of just grew from that point, and people were telling me, you should really take it on and make it a career. And so I just went with my gut, and here I am.
One of the coolest things for our listeners, and I want them to know this as well, two things about you. One of them is that you are extremely humble. You're a very, very humble person, very down to earth, to anyone that you meet. You always treat people as if they're on the same level as you are, you know what I mean? And that's one of the things I've admired about you. And also your consistency and determination, because you're talking about, like, you've been doing this for a very long time, and you've stuck with it throughout time, and that's huge, especially, being in our society in this day and age and being in the entertainment industry where it's easy for people to give up or quit or to go about different, roads. You stuck with it the whole time, and that's really encouraging and inspirational.
Thank you so much. Yeah. 13 years. It's been 13 years. I can't even believe that. When you read all those things, I was kind of like, wow, I don't really ever look back. I just keep going.
Sometimes we're moving so fast, or we're so focused on where we are. We, like you said, we're not thinking about, like, oh my God, look how far we have come. Look what God has done, and it's been over time. You know what I mean? It's like, it's similar. You've been at it a little bit longer than me professionally, but this is 11 years for me this year. You know what I mean? And so people don't realize, like, how long these things take. And living your dreams. Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like you mentioned, like being humble and all those things, and I see those things in you as well, and I think that's how we clicked as friends, and right away. And my team motto for my dancers is to stay humble, stay hungry, and be epic. Not hungry as in food, but stay motivated and want to keep going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though we all love food.
I know you're a foodie like me. You guys have got to follow Byron on Twitter, and because he's always posted, and Instagram too, on Byron Bucao, Bucao, and he's always posting yummy food. So, have you always been a leader and confident in yourself?
It kind of just grew into that role. Like I didn't really think of it, and I had other mentors and other dancers to look up to that helped me get to that point. Very shy and timid. I still kind of am shy when it comes to speaking, so.
But you do so well at it. You know what I mean? You do pretty well at it. And what is the biggest misconception that people have about you?
I'm so tuned out from the outside world sometimes. I'm with my kids, like, and my dancers all day, and like, it's not, I don't focus really like about me. It's about the youth. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So you're like, I don't know what people are thinking because I don't pay attention.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like sometimes you got to tune that stuff out because sometimes people throw negativity at you, and and you can't let it faze you. You know what I mean?
That's really good. That's actually really great truth. So, what are you the most proud of professionally and personally?
Well, can you repeat that? Sorry.
That's okay. What are you the most proud of professionally and personally?
Professionally, I guess I'm just proud that I've done something for the people in my community. I guess I could be personal at the same time. But I mean, personal. Doing things and making new friends and long life and just being happy.
Definitely. So tell us about a time when you wanted to quit, and how did you overcome that moment? It could be within your life or your career.
That's a pretty crazy question because that kind of just happened recently. So maybe about like a year and a half ago, like I was actually coming to the point of giving up, and like I was overwhelmed, and I was just felt like I was doing too much, and I was doing it to the point where I felt like I wasn't enjoying it because it's a passion for what I'm doing, like
Mm-hmm.
dance, and I just felt like I felt forced to do it and forced to be there, and so
Mm-hmm.
I decided to take a little break, So I mean, I think it's really good to take a break. Like I didn't
Mm-hmm.
give myself a break for so many years, and I finally did over the summer, and it gave me time to recollect my thoughts and kind of figure it out. What's the purpose of it all? And so
Mm-hmm.
after that break, I figured that like I needed more help.
I think you went out for a second, Byron. See if you can keep talking. I know, for those of you who don't know, Byron is coming back from Disneyland, which is so important to be able to take, like you said, that time off and have a good time. And so he might have got lost a little connection in his car. Byron, you were saying you took the time off in the summer?
Yeah, so I took the time off in the summer, and it was actually like years that I never took a break,
Wow.
a long break. I took maybe like 2 months off just to kind of find my purpose in everything that I was doing again, and I realized that I needed to ask for more help, so
Mm-hmm.
that's what I did after I came back from my break, and I had to trust the people around me more, and now it's going 100. Like we're going full force right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
That's huge.
I fell back in love with dance pretty much because I was definitely in a bad place before.
Mhm. Mhm. That's huge what
Sorry,
you said
to cut
too,
you
because no, it's okay. That's huge what you said too, because you have to, and when you no longer enjoy it and it's not fun anymore, that's when I think, and I'm not saying it because obviously when you go through challenges, it's going to be sometimes hard to even do those things you enjoy because you could be drained by the challenge or the negativity in your way. But when you said like how you felt dry in that area when you weren't enjoying it anymore, it's very important to be able to take some steps back and, like you said, be able to reevaluate and see like what is it that you need to find the passion for what you love again. And so I think that's amazing that you were able to recognize that and take the time that you need and continue to take that time you need, as the years go on, so that you can always, continue to have that passion you do.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm back at it. You gonna see me grind.
I always do. I love it. It's because literally Byron, guys, Byron is one of those people where we don't always get a chance to talk often, but when we do, we both are like up super late. We both are like really on it, doing the things that we love. And I'm like, man, it's good to know I have another crazy friend like me who understands what it is, because he does behind the scenes stuff too. Like he's producing and directing with their performances and the things they do and booking and all those things. So I totally understand. We put a lot of hours into these things that we love. I think you're still here. You got you, Byron?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Oh, okay, awesome. So how do you stay confident while working in industries that have been known to tear people down?
I try to stay in my own world. Like I try not to always tune in to all the industry stuff and follow it. And I just, as a creatively, like a lot of dancers make a lot of dance videos, and I actually try to not watch them so it doesn't kind of mess with the way I see things. But, yeah.
Mhm. That's really good. I need to watch some of Byron's dance videos. Especially because I started back dancing again. Like I'm dancing now like 6 days a week, and you're one of my inspirations.
Oh,
so
that's what's up.
I need to.
We gotta do something sometime.
I would love to. And so, I love gymnastics and all those kinds of things too. So I'm putting like a lot of like strength stuff in what I do. And so I know I can learn a lot from Byron. So I'm surely going to be watching some videos, and I need to come to one of his classes. He moves really fast and they come up with some intricate moves, but I'm going to do my best.
Oh, well, shoot, you can do gymnastics. I can't even do a cartwheel. I can dance, but I can't do a cartwheel if my life depended on it.
Yeah. Well, with the way you move, you don't have to know how to do a cartwheel.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, tell us about your current projects and what you are currently working on with your team, with your dreams, and all the things you're passionate about.
Okay. Well, currently, I have a performance coming up for my youth team. So I have about 7 dance crews. We're all part of my dance company, the Alias. But my youth team, their ages 9 to 14. They're actually performing for an event happening. It's called Guilds, I believe. It's I think it's called. Let me figure it out. Growing Up Lockdown, and it's kind of a 3-day conference where they speak about kids and going to school and staying out of trouble. But they're performing on October 14th at the Oxnard PAL, and it's free. Check it out.
Oh, okay. Let me write that down. Yeah. October 14th, Oxnard PAL. Okay.
Oxnard PAL.
All right. And if you send me, if you either text me or message me the details, I'm going to tweet about it as well so that I can share it too and on Facebook about it.
Yeah, they'll have motivational speakers and celebrities there. It's like a celebrity basketball game with local celebrity figures too as well.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah,
that's super cool.
And I think another thing that we got coming up, we got a dance competition. So that's what I've been gearing my dancers up for. My high school kids. So they have a competition in Redondo Beach Performing Arts Center. Called Vibe Juniors. And that's on November 6th. Not November 5th. Yes.
November 5th. Okay, dance comp. Awesome. And then lastly, as we're finishing up our time together for this interview, where can people follow you and stay updated with your career and with your team?
Okay, so my personal account is at Byron Bucao, BYRON BUCAO, and for my dance company is at Alias Dance Fam, ALIAS Dance FAM Fam. You can find, and then we're all our twos are linked through all that.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on tonight and being a part of my show. I'm glad to finally have you on. 30 episodes in, but we got you. And may you please leave our listeners with some words of encouragement, especially for people who want to get into dance, performing arts. What are some words of encouragement and wisdom that you would share with them from, all your experience and all your years of doing this?
Well, I guess it's to never give up. Do it for yourself, and do it because you love it, and don't let anyone ever tell you can't do it. If you really want it and you go for it, you're gonna get it.
That's really good. Thank you so much, Byron. It was a joy chatting with you. I have definitely, like I said, I'm coming to check out one of your classes. I'm about to be studying all your videos and shadow you. And I'm just thankful for your support and your encouragement over all these years.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll definitely be in touch soon. Have a great rest of the night.
You too. Have a good night.
Thank you. All right, thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. Thank you for downloading, subscribing, and sharing my radio show. Next week is our special Black Girls Rock episode. We will have many celebrity guests coming through, including professor, speaker, actress, author, and musical artist Dr. Jael the Great, comedian, entertainer, and performer Carrie Codette from MTV's hit show Jokin' Off, spoken word artist and radio host Erica Arthur from Radio Divas, who's also on Grindhard Radio Network, and more. Plus, we have a brand new and longer Supermodeling You with Ariana Carde segment where she'll be sharing more about her life and how to bring out the goddess in you. And, Black Girls Rock means so much to me. I think, especially in our day and age in our society, we're always trying to make women and young girls feel that you have to look and be a particular way. And we don't oftentimes, besides social media, thankfully because of social media and technology, you are able to see other images and views of African American and Black women. But before that, and even if you look at like TV and magazines and things, it still only has one or two different types of views of beauty. And so I'm ecstatic to be able to just encourage our listeners, have them get to learn more about Black women and African American women, and also to just encourage and empower, women of color and all women in general, because you can relate to people's stories and who they are and where they come from. Thanks to Grind Hard Radio for the opportunity to create my own radio show. Thanks to Travis Miller for creating and producing my theme song, and to Scott Swish for mixing the song. Thanks to special celebrity guests RASIKA MATHUR and Byron Bucao. Thanks to my castmates Christina Renee, Rick Wood, and Veronica Esquivel Winters. Our final song of the night is If You Dream from the movie More Than a Game. And so this is a part of the soundtrack, and I love this song so much. I want to share with you guys. Thanks for listening to the Sade Champagne Show, and see you next Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Time right here on Grind Hard Radio.
Where dreamers dream, where dreams come true. There's no limit to what we can do. Turning no's to yes, leaving doubt behind, releasing the stress. We were born to shine.